Hey, my name is Jason Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about major delays at the land registry are making it difficult for some people to sell their properties or also to remortgage their properties. I'm also going to tell you how you can resolve this because I've had a personal experience of this on a property that I bought last summer. Now, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We're on the way to 43,000 subscribers. In fact, in the last week, we had 900 new subscribers. So thanks to everyone that subscribes. And let's get some more views on this video because this is a topic that I think not many people know about and could really benefit from knowing how it all works. So smash like, tickle like, do something to the like button. That helps with the YouTube algorithm and that will push the video out to more people. So thanks to everyone that does that. So when you buy a property, it is registered by your solicitor at the land registry. And that data is some of the data that we talk about on a monthly basis. And so when we talk about house prices, the ONS, the Office of National Statistics that use the land registry data, that's the official data. Now, any purchase that's made or any transfer of a property has to be registered on your title deed with that with the land registry, basically. And so anytime I've done a purchase, I don't contact the land registry. I don't even know how to do it. The solicitor that I use will always do that on my behalf. That's part of the service. Now, when you can get a problem is if you, for example, were doing a project and you renovated a property and you had a bridging loan. This is what I had. So I bought a studio flat, which you can see on the channel, the videos of that. I documented the process. I bought it for £120,000 on what we call a bridging loan. And so that meant that I borrowed money at a higher interest rate, but for a short period of time. I then did work on the property. Well, I didn't. I got a builder in that fixed the kitchen, fixed the bathroom, decorated, did a tiny little bit of plastering work, new carpets, and decorated the property. And then we got that turnaround ready for the rental market. At that stage, I want to get off of this bridging loan because it can be as expensive as 1% interest every single month. And there can be other fees along with that as well. And so we then go to a mortgage company, which we did. We went to my broker and we said, right, we now want to put a buy-to-let mortgage on that. So we got a buy-to-let company round. They valued that property at £180,000, which was great. That meant that we could get the mortgage, the bridging loan paid off, and we could get a lot of the money back out, the deposit back out that we'd put into that, and then we can use that for other deals in the future. So that is a win-win on how that all works. Now, the problem we had was that when the mortgage was going through, the buy-to-let mortgage, the new second mortgage, the solicitor said, well, look, we still haven't got an update from the purchase that you made on this, and the land registry haven't logged this correctly yet. So it was still showing in the original owner's name. That meant that the mortgage wouldn't be lent to me. They weren't going to lend me any money until they saw the property was in my name. So what we did in this scenario was then we contacted the land registry and we called them and spoke to them very politely and said, look, this is urgent now. This is an emergency. And so in that scenario, they will speed stuff up. But a lot of people don't know that. So what's happening at the moment is that some people have been waiting as long as 5 years, 5 years, you heard that correctly, 5 years for the land registry data to be updated. It's a government agency, things are a mess, they make mistakes. So if you have a property and you've purchased one in the last few years, I would recommend that you go to the land registry and you buy the title deed. It's a couple of pounds and check that it's your details on there. If you've got a mortgage or a bridging loan on that, you can also check the charges against the property. And so what that means is that, for example, NatWest is a lender that I've used a few times. They would have what we call a charge on that property, meaning nobody can sell that property until they're paid off the debt that they owe. You could also have charges for other outstanding debts that you've got. And some people have them against CCJs and stuff like that, against the name. People use a charge against the property to make sure that they're going to get paid in the future. That's very, very important. And so the problem that we've got with the land registry at the moment is that some of these transactions that they're getting, they are doing very quick. They're saying as quickly as 11 days, which is pretty good and very efficient for the government. But around half of the transactions don't get done at that speed. And some of those can take 12 months, 18 months, particularly new build properties where it's a little more complicated to get it all set up and get the records done correctly. They can be a bit slower. And so in that scenario, you've then got to get on the case and get on the land registry a lot more frequently to make sure that this all gets done. Because if you don't, your lender could start getting worried, and they do check this kind of stuff. So mortgage companies, lenders, from time to time, they will check that the charge is active and registered against the right property. And if not, that could be a problem with the lending that you've got with them. And so it's in your interest to just make sure this is done. Your solicitor could have made a mistake. That happens sometimes, not often. Or the solicitor's done all their work and the land registry is just being very, very slow. Now, the land registry and the government, they're trying to get systems more efficient and faster. But as you know, with anything, I'm sure you follow the process with the NHS and all these things take donkey's years, absolutely donkey's years for governments to implement and get right. So it's important now, if you're considering a remortgage in the next few months, what you could do is make sure that your data and the charge, the current lender, is registered correctly against the land registry. And so when you go through your mortgage application, this isn't something that slows you down at the last stage. Because if you're selling a property or you're refinancing a property, this can crop up like it did for me at the very last stage. And that's when you're going to get a problem and maybe not to complete on your transaction in a timely manner. Let me know if you've ever had anything like this in the description below, in the comments below even. Do make sure you like the video and do make sure you check out all the other videos on the channel. We've got 1,500 content videos nearly on the channel now. So maybe start with this one right here.